Get over here with Pop.
Y'all come on down here.
Come here, Brady. These are my buddies. You want your cap on or off? Look at here. Oh boy, just look at that. Look at it. Look at it.
Now tell me who they are again.
Jake and Brady.
Which is which?
Brady in the red and Jake in the blue and white.
Well, y'all talk to me. Tell me about everything now. You can talk, Dave.
You're supposed to talk, Raymond.
Well, listen, come 5 weeks early, and he was 2 inches longer than this one was when he was born. He's gonna be a big boy. Say, my daddy's 6'7", I'm gonna be 6'6". This is gonna be 6'5", 4.
Get your finger out of your mouth, Jake. Tell her hi. Can you say hi?
Tell it.
Talk to me.
Say, I'm Paul's buddy. Say, tell about your pickup. Say, me and Paul got a pickup.
He's not gonna talk.
You're not gonna talk?
Hey, Brady.
You can't talk.
Jake can't talk. I thought he could.
Brady can talk. Brady gonna talk.
Say Daddy.
Jake, tell her how old
These
you
are
are.
my buddies. Say when the melon, we're going to the watermelon patch.
Brady.
Say we go every other day to watermelon patch this summer.
Brady
Haul
can't
some
talk.
melon.
Daddy.
Jake can't talk. Brady can't.
Brady can talk. He's gonna be curly-headed just like Jake.
Jake, tell her where you and Paul go every day. You go to get
Well,
donuts.
get your finger out of your mouth, son. Say we go get donuts.
Put your hand down, Jake. You can't talk with your hand in your mouth.
Well, get your hand out so she can hear you. You go get donuts in the pickup. Whose pickup is it?
Say mine Paul's.
Let me see your teeth.
You got any teeth? Well, show 'em to
Say
us.
yes, ma'am.
Show 'em
Say I
your
have a
teeth.
tongue. Get your finger down. Tell her that Paul's gonna take you fishing. He's not?
Yes,
With your thumb, Jake.
we're gonna go fishing when it gets warm weather.
Well, get your hand down.
Say we're gonna catch some fish.
Show her how big. Big fish. Show her.
Say this big.
Say I love my Paul. Well, we're gonna put Brady over there because you have to put a finger in your mouth. Get your finger.
Say me and Paul goes out to take murder and gets rolled.
Tell her.
Well, I believe I'll go out there and get me one.
He's a fine boy.
How old are you?
Tell her how old you are. Say I'm 2.5.
Did he say 6?
2.5.
2.5. That is 1 year old. He
Tell her
was
what your brother's
he
name
was
is.
1 year old Easter Sunday.
Get your hands down, or you can't have a picture made with the paw.
Say Brady. Say Brady's 1 year old.
Jay, why do you have your hand in your mouth, honey? Get it out. Mother will be upset.
Now mother wants to see these.
She wants to see your pretty face. Don't she, Brady?
You want to see yourself on television?
Say uh-huh. Say I'd
Well.
love to.
Well, put your
Well,
hands
okay,
down.
talk
Get
to
your
her.
hands down.
You'll be on television. You can see it.
And you can stand up. If you want
wanna
to,
stand up?
you can
Stand.
walk around. You can walk
Well, get your
around.
dog.
Do you do exercises? Well, show me how.
Show her you can dance.
So I got a guitar.
Raymond, take his hand out his mouth.
Well, he won't keep it out.
Do your exercises for me.
Show her how you can play a guitar and dance.
Show
Can
her how
you
you
show her?
sing. Come on.
Show her.
Well, Brady can.
Jay, hey Jay, come here. Are you embarrassed?
See, I'm real curious about all this stuff over here I've never seen before.
Hey, do you want to be on TV? Well, walk around.
You gonna be on TV and watch this. Look at that.
Who's that there, Jake? Who's that? Who is it?
Yes, you do. Who is it?
Say my buddy.
Watch Pa's sore arm. Tell her who takes Pa to the doctor.
Me to put that in.
No, you don't take him. Daddy takes him. Thank you. Be quiet. Well, I'm trying to. You won't let me be quiet. You want me to whisper?
The fishing pole out there, man. Why don't you have that take your fish pole out to his house? We got to go fishing.
You want me to whisper? What'd you do with those peanuts? Did you eat them all? Did Daddy eat them all? Well, you can talk out loud. It'll be all right. We don't have to whisper.
Yeah, I want you to talk louder, okay?
Okay?
I need you to talk louder.
Mommy, I see you.
You're gonna be on TV, I know, but you can't be if you don't talk.
You're on camera right
You
now.
have to talk.
Go
Tell her
talk
what
to the
you're
camera.
eating.
Tell her what you eat.
Get your fingers out of your mouth. Are you eating peanuts? Well, now you don't want your feet on TV. Do you know all of those musicians that you watch play and sing? Well, you can be on TV like them. Can you dance for her?
You want to sing song, kitty, can't you call me?
Tell her you can get him over there, Raymond, and do that for her.
Come over here.
Go over
let's
there,
sing a
Jake.
song
Go sit with
for her.
Pop. He's gonna sing songs for
And
you.
we watch
He
it on
can
TV.
sing with him.
Come on, let's sing it. Come over here and sing with me.
And it'll be on TV and we can show Mommy, okay?
Okay.
Go do
Well,
it.
go over there and do it.
You know
We
it.
want Pa to sing.
Come on,
He
sugar.
has taught all of his kids. He's not gonna do it. He's taught all of his kids
Brady'll
and
do
all
it.
of the grandkids
Brady'll do
to
it.
sing.
We'll start singing. Maybe he'll come
Sing.
on.
Jake, come
My
here.
grandpa, my daddy used to sing it to me when I was a little bitty kid. Rock.
Brady, he can sing to Brady.
Yeah,
Come here,
please
Jake.
sing to Brady.
Sing to Brady, Pa. You want to hold Brady?
Way down south where I was born, sing song, kitty, can't you call me? We shell our wood and we shelled our corn. Sing song, kitty, can't you call me? Oh, hemo, himo, die, oh, wall. Him, him, a Roma stick a pot, a little set back a pot of wheat, on this cat, sing song, kitty, can't you call me? Oh.
Say we can all sing.
Will y'all hold it just a minute?
Don't you hurt her. Oh,
Come here, Brady.
you'll go there and see the Pa. Oh, go see the Pa.
Come here, Brady.
Hey, hey.
Come on.
Oh, gosh. He is so big, I have not been able to handle
Well,
him.
he's just like a chunk of lead.
Can you lift it?
See, look at it. Look at it.
Can you love your Pa? He loves his Pa. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Give Pa love.
Hey,
Well, what's his What's Mama doing this morning?
His mama's in the bed asleep.
Oh.
She stays in the bed every day.
She work all night?
Yeah, she sits up all night about it. Dave takes, he got these kids every morning.
They go to the
Come here,
park
Brady.
and
Brady,
he takes them
are
to.
we gonna go get donuts? Huh? Come here. Come up, get over here with the boss. She wants to get your picture while you be on TV. Come on.
Come on, sugar.
You be on there and say, okay. Me, Brady tell you to me, Paul be on there.
Hey, sunshine. Hey, sunshine. They're both ready to go to bed.
Them fine boys, though. He going to Watermelon Patch with Paul this year, too.
He's like,
We go get some watermelon, won't we?
I can get one too.
well, you not gonna go get any because you're not over there with Paul getting on
You wanna
TV.
go get some watermelon with Paul? Huh? Oh, good. Oh, good gracious. This boy here, both of us, we're gonna get a watermelon. We said we're going to watermelon patch.
Brady. Hi, Brady.
You're not gonna be on there.
You want this, Brady? Here's your thing.
Hey,
Carol, you just tell Raymond what you want him to do, or you want him to walk around, or you want him to talk.
No, well, we won't talk. We'll just whatever
oh, well,
he feels like doing.
I'm just about past doing anything. Hey, biting the plug out of me. You bite like
We
a
got
dog.
it. We got it. Dave, could you turn out that light in there?
I
It makes
wondered if
streaks.
you needed. Now, I've got some overhead lights. Do you
Well,
need
with
that?
this light
Do you think that's enough? Or do you need the overhead?
in here over yeah, he could turn these on. That'd be good.
I think it's, no,
They got two of them.
that, no,
What you want?
that one, no.
Listen over here for that corner.
What's over here?
Oops.
You want the light in the den on?
And how about turning those off because they
Yeah,
reflect
turn
in that
those
mirror
off.
back there.
It's out.
That's good.
Look at that.
Oh my.
It's out.
Well,
Hey,
let's-
look what Jake done.
No, don't bother him.
Huh?
He didn't mean to, Daddy. The lid came off. I'm glad you vacuumed.
No, he didn't, did he?
This boy wants a peanut.
He's
Brady will
Look
help
at him, baby. Look at you pick up that peanut. You think
John.
he wouldn't eat them? Of course he'd eat one of them.
Now, baby, I'll have to get the vacuum cleaner. Jay, we had an accident. Okay?
are you calling him Jay?
Jake.
Jake.
J-A-K-E. He's named after my daddy.
And this is named Brady because her mother was a Brady.
See, that's what we need to know.
So look at there. Watch me.
Brady.
Give me a kiss.
Okay.
Just try to fall leg and ride this horse.
Okay, ride horse. Ride a little horse so you go to town. If you are a big horse. Wait, and you can ride horse late after Brady gets through.
You won't ride the other leg? Come on, get on another
Now
leg.
be real careful with Paul.
No, cow,
What'd he say?
Turn around and get over my leg. Get
Wait,
Well, boy, you can't get thick, can you? Damn. I got me two boys.
Now, can you hold Brady? Put your arm around Brady. Hold your
Now,
brother.
here we go.
Say,
Hey,
this
hey,
is,
hey, 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 hey.
Brady's arm out. There we
say, this is my brother.
Say, I love my
Give
brother.
him a kiss, Jake.
Can you kiss
Give him a
Brady?
kiss.
Now look at the camera. You gonna get on TV? Yeah. You wanna sing song, Jay?
Can you sing
Okay,
sing song,
sing.
Kitty?
Way down south where I was born. Sing song, kitty, can't you call me?
Brady can clap.
Sing it, Jake. You can
Clap
sing.
your hands, Brady.
Clap your hands,
We
Brady.
cut our
Clap.
wood and we shelled our corn.
Hold him.
Sing song,
Look
kitty,
Hold
can't
Brady.
you call me?
Hold
He's gonna
Brady.
get down. He's gonna be contrary.
Well,
That's
Brady's
all right.
gonna be on TV.
Brady, my buddy.
Now sing over there.
Brady's my buddy.
Can you sing? I want you to sing for Carol.
Brady's
And
my
then I'll
buddy.
give you some peanuts.
I'm ready. Go
Okay.
ahead and sing.
Say, way down south where I was born. What else is it that Paul sings? Jesus wants me for a sunbeam. Can you sing that? What about the itsy bitsy spider? Can you sing itsy bitsy spider? You can't sing that? Well, Brady, are you having a stroke? Huh? Are you through? Say, Daddy, I'm done. Stick me.
I'm gonna fall off of here.
He's through. Can you sing? Way down south where I was born. Can you do that?
Say daddy, daddy, daddy.
Sing song, Kitty.
Say daddy, daddy, daddy.
Jake, I thought you knew all that song. I thought you was gonna sing it for the reunion.
This boy's a
Can
dandy.
you sing?
Daddy, you get
That one down there is too.
Do what? You're gonna eat peanuts? Well, sing a song for me, and then we get peanut butter cups. Tell her, what do you like to eat? What kind of candy do you eat? Huh?
I don't care.
You not care?
I don't care. I had daddy's car.
No, you're not.
Yes, I had
You can't drive Daddy's car.
I had that my pickup.
Try to drive your
He can start it.
pickup. Hey,
If he
Dave,
left
don't you
Jake-
go outside.
Dave always leaves a key in it.
Y'all heard about that little, like a 4-year-old took his little sister riding, didn't you? Or maybe, I remember.
No.
Yeah, I remember that.
How old's your baby, Carol?
Well, which one? I got one that's 28.
That's not the young one.
The little one is 11, almost 12.
Is
Put him in school.
that the only one you got in school? Well, we've got one that's gonna be a doctor in June,
Who is that?
Amy, Sharon's daughter. She went to BYU, made the highest grade you can make, 4 all the way, and just about that all through Southwest Medical School in Atlas. She graduates in June and goes to work at St. Paul.
St. Paul in Dallas?
Yeah. Gets three free meals a day, all rent, insurance and everything.
What kind of doctor is she gonna be?
She said it's internal medicine. I don't know, that's what Dr. Edmonds needed, my heart doctor. He's internal medicine.
Well, no telling what she's liable to study and become yet, you
Well,
know?
at one time she said she wanted to be a surgeon and she don't know what she.
Put that
She's
back.
pretty smart.
No, I wait in the house, Daddy.
How many children does Sharon have?
She had 3.
Girls? Or she got a boy?
2 girls and a boy. She got a boy, 23.
Who?
Sharon.
We're talking
Kathy
about your
had
children.
3. She had 2 girls and a boy. Paula had 2 girls. Christy got 2 boys. Got 10. 6 girls and 4 boys.
Go give that to Daddy. Then how many do you have for the other girls?
I don't know.
They told you when you were in the hospital how many you had.
Did you remember?
Well, Louise has 5.
Oh my God.
You know.
Sue has 3.
Stop.
That's 8.
Stop.
And Glenda Ann has 3. Is 11. And Thelma Faye has 2. Has 13 by the others. And I don't know how many great-grandchildren, but they told him that. Sue and Thelma Faye came to the hospital, and Thelma Faye's daughter came when he had that bypass surgery, I guess. And
I didn't know that.
yes, she did. And Thelma Faye has a boy and a girl. And Glenda Ann has 3 boys.
Come here, Jake.
And Sue has
I'm gonna get
2 girls and a
Hurry
boy.
up.
I'm gonna get
And Louise has,
All right.
well, I think she's got 2 boys and 3 girls.
Well, Louis got a boy that works
In the bank, and
the bank. He was 30-something years old. Louise is 56, let's see.
she's older than that.
She born 1932. She'd be 57 years old in October.
Well, where does everybody live?
Well, Sue lives in Pine Tree. Louis lives in Longview.
Move, son. Move.
And
Thelma Faye, Glenda Ann.
live in Tyler.
Tell her where your other girls live.
Well, Sharon lives right at Glenwood Acres.
Talk louder.
Oh, you can't hear you.
Sharon lives at Glenwood Acres. Paula lives in Longview. Kathy in Plano. Chrissy in Gilman. They're scattered.
Well, not very much.
because it is zone. Because
I missed that.
Daddy, I can go. Meow.
Ready?
Well, Kathleen, you're gonna have to say something to get something started here.
I got the break.
Raymond, now he talks all the time, and then you get him in front of the camera and he doesn't
We
talk.
got some meat,
Get your chair, get over there.
Well, when I was working in the oil field, we traveled all over the country with Sharon.
Daddy, come
We've
on.
been in,
Come on.
we worked in Louisiana,
She had been in 16 states.
Arkansas, Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Utah, and Colorado. But we've been in, besides that, we've been in Nebraska, Ohio, Canada, Michigan,
West Virginia,
West Virginia, and Virginia.
Kentucky,
Well, we've done been worked in Kentucky.
Mississippi.
Tennessee, Mississippi. We went across the corner of Idaho. Not Idaho, but Nevada.
New Mexico.
Been in New Mexico.
No,
Well,
Daddy.
in Utah, and then we was in Arizona.
Not
Jake.
We've been around a little bit.
Well, when did y'all finally settle down?
We settled down here in 1940. Was it 40?
47. Paul was born in 46.
Yeah, we was here long before she was born. We was here and went out to Utah in 40 and then come back. When did we leave Illinois and come back here? Sharon was 2 years.
Let me get over here.
Yeah, you wanna get your chair?
Jake, don't you bother anything. Do I need to?
You better get a chair.
Honey, this fine. I'd rather sit on the floor. We married in 1940. And we lived in Louisiana for a little while. And then we went to Freeport and we stayed with Mamie out on the beach. And this was after Sharon was. We went to Illinois first though, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we came back and Sharon Ray was born in 1941.
Where?
And here in Gilmer. We had planned for her to be born in Sherman, but she came 19 days early. So she was born out at Oaklawn Sanitarium. And then we went to Freeport and stayed with Mamie. And this was when Sharon was a baby. And then Don lived at Angleton, and we went out there and
Stay with me.
lived with them until Sharon Ray was 9 months old. And then we went back to Illinois, and we stayed there until Sharon was 3. And we came back here and lived in Pittsburgh, and then we went to Utah in July of 45. And we was out there when the war was over. And then we came back and was here when Paula was born in 1946. And have been here ever since. And we built this house in 1954. And Raymond worked, how long did you work in the oil field, Daddy?
I worked on them old drilling rigs
Look at her.
a little better than 50 years. First drilling rig I ever worked on was in 1931. And I quit in 1983. That's it. And I haven't worked since the end of '83.
Tell her when your birthday is and how old you will be.
I'll be 79 years old,
Jake, what's up?
November the 25th. If I'm here.
And we'll be married 49 years, December 19th of this year.
Well, just hang on, Uncle Raymond, you gotta make 50.
I don't think I will.
Oh, you will, dear.
You have to go down there and,
I burned the candle at both ends too long.
but oh, how bright the light.
There's nothing that stay up 2 and 3 days without laying down. One time I
Jake.
stayed up 6 days without even laying down.
He was gone most of the time when we was raising our girls.
Yeah, all those states he named a while ago, he went without you, is that right? A lot
Well,
of them.
no, now I was with him most of the time, but he worked, when Sharon Ray started to school, I told him that we weren't moving anymore, that I was gonna stay at home, and he worked all over Texas, but we never did
I get
leave
me a little
anymore.
apartment or a room or something and stay away from home.
Well, now when you were pushing tools, you had a bunkhouse or a trailer
Oh, yeah,
house,
I had
and
that.
you didn't do
Like
that.
several years.
Well, you worked for Alton Coast
I
Coat's
went
19
pushing
years.
in 1951.
Before we built our house. And I always said that I hoped he wasn't rigging up or completing a well when I died, because they'd have to put me in cold storage until he finished.
Yeah.
Because now he definitely, his job came first, didn't it?
Well, it had to.
Had to look after it.
The Springer chair one of those
Oh,
Sit back our house, please.
Where's my break?
Sit back up.
watch, honey, watch it. You're gonna kill him. You're gonna kill him.
I got you one.
Oh, okay.
Bring it forward. You can't much, can
I'm
you?
in Tupman. I'm in Tupman.
Is that all right?
Yeah,
That's your old sore arm.
Well, it's
We
been,
both got sore
it's
arms
been blind leading the blind here for 2 months.
since I broke this arm. It really has.
Now, how did you break your arm?
Darling and I went out to get the paper, February the 5th, 1989.
Daddy, wait. Somebody.
Stepped down on the driveway, broke both bones,
Let me cut my pencil.
and
You cut
Ran
my-
and slid to the
I
street.
slid in the street and I had to crawl back up on the bank because there wasn't anybody else out there but me. And got in the house and finally got an ambulance and went to Longview,
No,
and it's been
that is not.
10 weeks and I still haven't gone back to work. Still not carrying my mail around.
Well, how's your arm feeling? Is it hurting?
I'm
She
having
didn't
trouble.
sleep last night.
Having trouble with my shoulder, and but it's gonna be better. And I'm gonna be back out there throwing that nail, I hope. Aren't we, Jake?
Go to Grandma.
Come over here to Bebe. Tell her what my name is. She doesn't know, Jake. You're not gonna tell her? Tell her what my name is. Come here, tell her what you call me and Paul.
The bed,
Huh?
the bed.
Bebe?
You have to move away from there.
Come here, you can't bother the stuff. Hurry. Where's Daddy?
He's coming.
He's a son.
Daddy, we're going. Bye-bye.
Okay, and he's gonna have to quit rattling the rubber. I didn't.
Bye.
No, I'm going to Mama. I'll go. I'll be on shoulder here. I'm going to be on shoulder.
He's gonna put on a show.
Well, you
You're
kept
doing that.
hiding.
You didn't put on a show, Jake.
Missed it.
Bye.
Bye.
Love y'all.
Love you.
Bye, Jake.
Bye, Dad, Jake.
He wanted to put on a show. I never saw him so
Yeah,
teased.
them sweet little old boys.
Y'all wait just a minute.
Okay. Just love to get on the road and,
Most of them truck drivers are pretty courteous, pretty good, but you find one.
oh, you'll find some of them that are, but I love the CBs when they were the rage.
The what?
CBs.
Uh-huh.
We'd start from here to Mississippi
And she
and
talked to the truck drivers all the way.
Raymond would read a book. You want to
Well, go
turn
ahead
that
and
off?
get your phone. Yeah, I'll turn it off a minute.
Dave came to get him. Well, he said, I don't want to go, Daddy. I'm going to put on a show. But he wouldn't put on a show. No, he didn't. Nothing much. He had his finger in his mouth. Well, Brady sat over there with Daddy and hollered, and he did pretty good, yeah. So you have. Well, he's growing up. I know.
Say that again.
Christy wants you to tell about when they cut your curls off and what
Well,
you did.
I guess I was 3 or 4.
You was 3.
And she cut my curls off like they're down to my shoulder.
Real curly.
And I asked her to put them back on. She said she couldn't, and I asked her to sew them back on.
Did.
And the curls are still here somewhere.
We've got her. And we've got a picture of him when you wasn't very old. You was about 2, weren't you?
It was a big picture of me, and Players had it made. But it needs redoing, but Paula has got it.
And she's going to have it redone.
And she hadn't
when
lost
gets
it
around
in the
to
garbage someplace.
Now, Paul won't appreciate that.
I don't care.
Oh,
I bet she gets it done next week.
I bet if she sees this, she will, won't she?
Well, there ain't much left for me.
Well, there's quite a bit.
Well, I'm
You've
no
got-
good to myself or anybody else.
Oh,
anymore.
Raymond, don't say that.
Well, at last we got you still enough to make a video.
That's right, you had time. He never did have time. Well, I want you to know that my family thought it or thinks as much of Raymond as they do me, maybe more. And, of course, Tom Tate is our ex-son-in-law, but he has spent every holiday with us. Well, while he and Kathy were married, he never did stay with his family. And since they've gotten a divorce, and that's been 3 years, 4 years, I guess, and he spends all the holidays with us, just like he always did. It's always open house. And when Sharon's family has to go to Richard's mom's on Christmas Eve, and of course everybody else is here. And the kids used to fuss about it. And so Jason told Sharon one time, he said, well, it's going to be understood when I get married where we are spending Christmas. And Sharon was just elated, you know, and she said, you're going to tell her you're going to come to Mom's house. And he said, no. He said, I'm going to tell her we're spending it at Bebe's house, because that's the only place they ever knew to have Christmas.
And she starts decorating at Thanksgiving every year.
The day after.
And I don't know what a light bill run, but I never seen as many lights in my life as she had in that yard.
But have you ever seen the house?
I
At
don't
Christmas?
remember it if it did.
Well,
But I will this year.
well, well, I don't know if we'll do it this year or not. We both got so decrepit.
I broke a leg hanging a Christmas tree to a pine limb out there.
To paint it.
Broke both bones in it. They went in the ground 3 inches deep.
We used to go out and cut a cedar tree. Now, this was when the girls were at home. And it had to be big. It would cover that picture window in there. We would paint it white, and then we would flock it. And Raymond and I nearly get a divorce every year because it would invariably rain and turn cold. And we'd get under the carport, and he'd always tell me that we didn't have enough flocking.
That tree that I broke my leg with, I got it down there, and I guess Tommy Denton's place in the bottom.
You did?
And it was a tall tree, and I climbed 40 feet in the air
And cut the
and
top
cut
out.
the top out of it. And that's where I got
And-
the tree.
He did.
Well, did you fall there or fall?
He was on the
Then I
ladder.
brought it home. I sat on top of an 8-foot step ladder, hanging it up to paint it. And the step ladder flipped with me, and I got this foot tangled up in the top step. Couldn't get it loose.
And broke his leg and wore a cast for 18 months for my Christmas tree.
Up to my hip. Waded the snow and ice,
Every
up
time,
the steel stairways on them rigs. I never did miss a payday.
he did.
You worked with that in the county?
Well, he
I
was,
worked
yeah.
for 2 years in it that way.
But everybody that looked at that tree that year, they'd talk about how expensive it was because they knew Raymond had broke his leg and spent 3
I
weeks
worked
in
in
the
that trench
hospital.
at River Bottom after I had surgery on it. They had to go back in there and graft bone and take all the screws out of it. And I worked in that trench at River Bottom in August. I thought it was gonna rot off. It was soaked in blood, practically from my hip to my ankles. That cast was.
So he had to go back in the hospital and they took bone out of his hip and grafted bone, and then the leg got fine. Said it never did
Well, I
hurt him.
just had surgery 8 times. It's about time that they're cutting my head off the next surgery.
Oh, he has been cut on a few
The
times, bless his
doctor
heart.
told me Friday I'd probably have this did again, this surgery here.
We'll handle it if we have to.
Well, tell me how all this is coming back about in recent years, what's been going on with you.
Well, when did you have your first heart attack?
In 1972.
The only other time he had ever been in the hospital or been sick was he had an emergency appendectomy. And when was that?
Well, that was the year they had the reunion in Arizona.
Well, I don't remember what that was, when that was.
Was it
but-
before I had my heart attack?
Yeah, oh yeah, a long time. Because he'd been healthy as a horse, he never had a thing wrong with him, and never even as much as took an aspirin. He really didn't. He
I never took a half a dozen aspirin in my life.
And what year did you have your heart attack?
1972. October the 6th.
We remember the dates real well.
Well, you had more since then?
He then in
Well, I went back to work. He called me, said he didn't intend to put me back to work, but he had an emergency. And I went down and at Fairfield. And I thought I had a heart attack. And that's when I quit.
Sharon and Richard came and got you.
They came and got me. Richard went to the rig with my car and got my clothes, and Sharon brought me to Longview. I stayed in the hospital a week, but they decided I didn't have a heart attack. But he sent me on to Dallas to see if they'd do open heart surgery.
He had those.
And I stayed over there a week, and they didn't do it. My back artery, I don't have one. It's completely destroyed, just a massive scar tissue.
But blood still gets back.
He said I still had some seepage.
And
I had to live with it.
And that was in 73. And he hadn't had any more problems with his heart since then. And then when was your next surgery? When they did that bypass?
83. I tied a dacron artery into my left leg and come across my stomach and tied it into my right leg. And he said if I was a young man, he'd give me a good overhaul. But being I was old as I was, he's just gonna give me a ring job or a valve job. The upper coppage in Longview did it. My throat's so dry, I can't.
You want a drink of water? You want to turn
Well,
it
I
on?
wouldn't got some, but
Fresh.
Get him a drink.
Just give him a glass to keep with him.
I will.
And what year was it you,
that was 83.
yeah, when did you fall and break your leg doing that Christmas tree?
That was in 62.
Christy was a year old.
It was in December of 62. I was here by myself. And Mr. Rice, my next door neighbor, was sitting on the porch. And I hollered for him, and he never did hear me, and so I reached down and straightened that leg out a little, and I thought I'd gonna faint when them bones hit one another, but I laid that leg up on the other one and started dragging myself around the house. But my neighbor behind me, the dentist over here, Miss, I don't know what's their names?
She's not here.
Hence,
Henson?
yeah. Miss Henson heard me, and she came over and went in and packed my suitcase. And they called the hospital in Gladewater. She called the ambulance. And we left here to go to Gladewater, and then they talked me into going on to Longview, so they called back and told the sheriff's office and the funeral home that I was going to Longview when the folk come in to tell them. And Kathleen met the ambulance in Gregson, but she didn't know I was in it, so I got over there, and they just left me laying on a stretcher in the hall. Kathleen got here, and Don told her, and he jumped in the car with her, and they went to Gladewater. They thought that's where it was. And they said, well, they called, and we'd been had everything ready and waiting for 45 minutes. Said, we don't know what's happened. Why don't you go call the funeral home? And Kathleen figured I died and said, I'm not going to call the funeral home. And Paula said she was 16. She said, I will. And she called the funeral home, and she come back, and Kathleen said she was smiling, and she knew I was all right. And said, my daddy's in Longview. Well, they
He
wouldn't.
said he's all right.
They wouldn't start surgery because there wasn't anybody to sign the papers. They'd give me a shot when I got to Longview. So Emery Lloyd drove the ambulance. He said, I'll sign them. He said, no, you're not a relative. And I had to lay there and till Kathleen got over there.
About 3 hours, wasn't it?
Oh, it was hours better. He picked all the dirt that he could and grass out of that wound, and he had to stack high on one hand. So they didn't put me to sleep.
Gave you
They
a
gave me
spinal.
a spinal, and he didn't know I knew that I was watching him, but I was sitting up watching him. And he had a scrub brush and a water hose scrubbing that out, and he said, if I leave any sand in here, it'll cause osteomyelitis. And he took a brace and bit and drilled a hole, and then took screws and a screwdriver and put screws in there. He looked around, seen me watching him, and he shoved me back and threw the pillow on and said, hold that pillow over his head.
Over
And I
his
was in
stomach.
surgery 4 hours. And I stayed in the hospital 2 weeks and came home. They wrote me a prescription for pain pills, and I never did have it fixed.
Never did hurt.
That leg never did hurt me, only it was sore and all that, but it never did hurt as far as pain.
And he never did complain about that cast. And I tried to die with this one on my arm. I really did.
If she'd have had 2 on her arm, I'd have had to bury her.
Both arms had been broke.
Yeah.
Well, it must have damaged a nerve where it didn't hurt or something, you know.
Undoubtedly did.
Well, I don't know.
Until
You
later.
see there?
You
Yes,
still
did, and
got
I'm
it.
fixing to look. Yep. Just a minute.
It's a pretty good sized hole there.
Now, let me see. I didn't see
She
it.
didn't get it.
Yeah. And give you a lot of trouble since?
Now, I'll tell you the difference in medicine, in Dr. Bill's then and now. That cast, he cut a hole, made a window in it down there, and he cut the proud flesh out and dress it every week. Every 6 weeks, he'd saw that cast off up to my hip and put a new one on. And after about 6 months, I told him to send me a bill. If he didn't, I wasn't going to come back. You know what the bill was? $60.
What about a hospital bill?
Well,
now
the insurance
hospital
paid
bill.
as long as in the hospital, but they wouldn't pay it after I left.
Uh,
Dr. Hoover in Longview did it.
and this arm has already cost me over $800. And wasn't in the hospital.
I was in Trinity River bottoms drilling a well for Dr. Bromberg out of Galveston. And he seen that bloody cast and he said, when you finish this well, you come to Galveston. I've got a clinic down there
With the bone man.
and I'll fix that leg and it won't cost you a penny. And he said, who's your doctor? And I said, Dr. Hoover in Longview. He said, don't come to me. You got the best doctor in the Southwest.
So I
He
wish
just
he'd got a
retired.
hold of my
He
arm.
just retired about 3 years ago. Dr. Hoover was in with Cochran.
Mm-hmm.
And now Colquitt has retired.
Well,
I think I took Gary to Dr. Hoover. He grew about 6 inches in 6 months. And, you know, he was hurting because his muscles were all stretched out and everything. And the doctor says, well, it's just what they used to call growing pains.
Is that right? How tall is he?
He's 6'4". I'm on the shelf store over here.
what'd you have to take him for? 'Cause he wasn't growing?
Well, he was hurt.
He was hurt. He grew 6 inches and
Who is that?
Well, this door's shut.
it's supposed to.
We don't have it shut. I'll pull the drape.
Okay. On the other side, Carol. They're fixing to dig up my yard.
I told you they would. I seen him out there.
Well, they're fixing
I'm going out there and chew him out too. They just dug it up not long
to.
ago and they
This
just,
light on? No, everything's fine now. I was just getting that backlight in there.
they dig your yard up and they won't put that dirt back in there and tamp it in there and fix your grass back over it. That, it hadn't been, last year they did. They dig it every year.
What's this?
My yard.
Our yard,
There's
the gas line comes off of this line, it comes in our yard and crosses the street to the other houses. Something goes wrong over there, they tear our yard up. They don't even dig in their yard.
Because the lines are on their side. So,
Well, if you finish telling me about your leg, then what'd you,
after he had that, went back in and had that bone graft.
After a year, I pulled the cast off and started walking on it, and it swelled up and bursted. So I went back in the hospital, and they grafted bone, and I said, take them screws out of there, and he took them out. And then it got well.
Never did have any more trouble with it.
About 18 or 20 months, I wore that cast. It got well after he got grafted that bone. I guess I got osteomyelitis.
He did. He had that bone disease, and he was blessed that he didn't lose the leg because you
We went
don't
out to the
get
country
over that.
club one night to a supper, and Hugh Ragland said, if you'd have come to me, I'd have had you walking. I said, yeah, on a peg leg. Because Hugh was knife happy anyway. So that leg never hurt me since. It never hurt.
sure great. He was blessed. He really was.
That's hurt me worse than anything's ever hurt. Right there.
Cause that's hurting you now. That makes a difference.
Well,
That's
it'll
why.
continue to hurt. That,
Oh,
something
dear.
wrong that artery's not gonna do. They punched it so much till they've got it cut off somewhere.
I have not
Look at that,
understood.
look at there, Kathleen,
Yes.
that's just sore
I
the
know
ball.
it. I have not understood why they didn't put the shunt.
Well, Dr. Dr.
I-
Coppins told them to not use it until they had to, because it wasn't ready.
And they used it too.
And this kidney doctor told me he's gonna wait 2 more weeks. And the next day, them nurses started using it.
Well, I'd have hit him and said,
Well,
honey, he's
I told them what he said when they did it.
He really is.
And evidently he told them they could do it. I don't know.
well, now what brought all this on? When did all this problem start? With your kidneys or whatever's.
Well,
Kidneys.
year before last, they said the tube from my left kidney was stopped up. And I had surgery. And they didn't find a thing. And then last year I had prostate surgery. And my kidneys had shrunk an inch in a year.
They just deteriorated. And
Well, this-
they wouldn't talk to him about having a kidney transplant because of all of his other problems. His arteries are in such a bad shape that they said he had too many other things wrong with him they just didn't think it would work. And he just had 15% of his kidney function for months, see. And then,
Well, I had 15% last year.
yeah, but after I broke my arm, I guess it'd been 3 weeks, well, he just started filling up with fluid. And we went to Dr. Cardenas, and he said, well, the arm's not ready, but he said, we're going to have to put him into emergency surgery because he can't stand this. So that's what we did. We put him in for day surgery, and they put this catheter in his neck and did a dialysis that day, and then we've been going 3 days a week ever since.
Yeah,
And he
they
got
give
to
me-
feeling
and they had to
pretty
take
good.
it. They give me a blood transfusion every once in a while. They give me 3 this year.
And he came home one day and said he felt like he might could mow his yard, but he hadn't felt that good since.
Well, has this got anything to do with his heart? Do you think?
No.
No.
It's his arteries.
I had
the
that major
vascular
surgery. They
system.
cut me from here to there and down that leg and down this leg.
The
Put
arteries.
that artery across my stomach, 4-hour surgery. And my heart didn't bother me a bit.
Oh, now, when did they do all that surgery?
They did that in '83.
That was 10 years after the heart attack, see. But, of course, his arteries are just, I mean, that's Raymond's biggest problem. The arteries are no good.
Well, it's not cholesterol or anything like that?
Oh, well, I'm sure it has been. It was his
Well,
diet.
now they said I go to that heart doctor and he said my cholesterol just fine every time I go.
Well, but what it is, your arteries, they say it's like a drain pipe. It gathers all this.
Well, you see, Dick
and
Main.
saying that's what
Dick Main
happened.
had to have arteries put in his legs. And
Who did?
A friend of his that he worked with
Dick
for
Main.
years.
I don't know if it's from standing on them old steel floors for 40 or 50 years or not, or concrete. It's just standing
Raymond
on
did
that.
not take care of his health. Now, let's just face it.
Well, for somebody that didn't take care of his health, he's done mighty great, hasn't he?
Well, I know, but it finally, because he was never sick. He was healthy as a horse, but he might go days without taking a drink of water. And darling, you can't do that. It finally catches up with you. But he has been a pretty good old boy.
Best thing to do is just cross the river.
Well, he's been
Cross it
talking
anyway.
about crossing the river for so long. Christy said, I wish you'd quit that, Daddy. I told him when they got ready for him to cross, they'd come get him. He said, well, there was more over there now than there was over here, really. And there really is.
If you could just lay down and go to sleep and not wake up.
Well,
That'd
that's
be
how we all
wonderful.
want it. We
That's
gotta all
right.
cross the river sometime.
Well, his patriarchal blessing tells him that when life is no longer sweet, that he can go. So it must be something still sweet about it, because he's still
And
here.
it promised me that I'd go fit quick, that I wouldn't
She
suffer.
wouldn't suffer.
Wouldn't
You're
have
right.
to suffer.
You're right. What year did we go to the temple, Danny?
I don't know.
Okay.
Was that
Christy
Christy
was,
had the surgery?
yeah. Christy had surgery when she was
She had
12.
surgery in 75.
Okay, we went to the temple in 76, went to the Mesa temple, and took Christy. She's the only one that has been sealed to us, but Sharon and Paula are in the process of going to the temple. So hopefully we can get the rest of them.
Well, that's something sweet to live for.
Yes, it is.
Plus those two little ones you had here this morning, they're keeping life sweet for you, aren't they?
Darling, they really do.
Well, something like that, what makes you want to stay around a little longer.
Yeah. We've got some sweet ones. They all love him. They think Paul is about it.
Well, I enjoy
Our-
mine.
Oh, our oldest one is fixing to graduate from med school the 3rd of June. Gonna have a doctor in the family. I hope me and Raymond hold out until she gets to
Gets around.
make a doctor,
Well,
yes.
for Sam, we'd have to go to St. Paul.
Yeah, she's gonna do her training at St. Paul in Dallas. And she's so excited about it. But we've had a pretty good life. We've had some rough times, but most of them have been pretty good. They haven't been bad. We've managed to stay together, and that's, in this day and time, that's a whole bunch.
Well, I'll tell you. We got by on a lot less than kids try to get by on now.
Yeah, they gotta have it
We
all.
have-
Well,
They
when
the
they were
merrier,
growing
don't
up, it thought money fell off of trees, I guess. But when they
do.
decide to have to pay the bill, they've seen it's different.
You know, of course, I didn't work. I stayed home with those kids, and everybody thought Raymond made big money, but he didn't. We managed well. And when we built this house, Raymond was making $700 a month, weren't you? And our
Yeah.
house payments was $132.
And I borrowed every bit I borrowed $15 more than it cost me to build.
That's right. And it cost a little less than $13,000 to build this house. Now, we had the lot and had it paid for.
And this one room cost $10,000.
11,000, thank you. And, you know, and we had a car payment, and we had 3 kids in school. That's before we had Christy. And we made it, but we had no extra money. We never did save any
Well,
money.
when I had that heart attack, I had to go on Social Security. And I stayed on it from 72 until 81. 9 years. And I'd work a day or two on the rig, but
Every other weekend.
as much as he could pay me draw Social Security. Finally in 81, he said, why don't you go back to work full time? So I quit drawing Social Security the last of May. And I had drawn $2,000 and Christy drawed $1,400. And they made me pay every penny of that back because I went back to work.
But then his Social Security, after he went back and worked that 2 years, it increased it quite a bit.
They took $2,500 a year out of my check for Social Security. I worked every weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 3 days a week. And he paid me $30,000 a year to work 12 days a month. I did that for 2 years until the oil field practically shut down. He finally went bankrupt, but he helped everybody on just as long as he could.
Who was this?
Selenska Drilling Company.
Out of Richardson.
Uh,
That was his last job in the oil field.
he paid top wages. He furnished transportation for all the hands. And if you didn't work but a mile from home, he paid you $20 a day besides your bonuses, and it was tax free. And he paid high as $50 a day besides your wages, tax free. If you were having to make a long drive.
He was too good, that's why he went bankrupt.
And some of his pushers, he'd give them $10,000 every Christmas for a bonus. Now I was just working extra, see, so I didn't get them bonuses.
What do you mean extra? I thought you was working full time.
Well, but
Well,
he
he
was what they
called it
call an
full-time.
extra pusher.
He had 2 pushers on each rig, and they'd work half time, but when you were tearing it down and moving it and rigging it up, they both worked. But when they just started drilling, they'd work half time. But then, he didn't have me on any certain rig. I was in Oklahoma, Arkansas, just jumping around from one rig to the other, wherever they needed me to work.
He was what they call a relief pusher. But he still drew good money.
I was drilling. I was running the rig for him until when I had this heart attack. And then after that, after I quit drilling, well, he put me to pushing. It's a relief pusher.
Well, tell me something about your daily work, what it was like working on the rig.
Honey,
Well,
when
when
he
you
was
was
pushing
pushing,
tools, he
you
had
didn't do nothing but point your finger and tell them what to do. He told me to stay in that bunkhouse after I had that heart attack.
Tell him what you had in the bunkhouse.
Well, you had 4 good bunks, shower, and cook stove, and refrigerator, and everything in there you could live in.
Radio, and did you have a television?
Well, yeah,
Some
they
of
had
them did.
televisions in them.
And he could call from the bunkhouse up on the rig